Good morning, friends. Myself, Manoj Kumar Chitare, Assistant Professor, Hirashiguro Institute of Technology, Nidososhi. In this session, we people are going to discuss about 3G standard. The third generation of cellular telephony that refers to the combination of technologies that provide both the digital data as well as a voice communication. Here, the user is able to establish some sort of a voice call with another user, or the fellow can able to access the internet while moving from one station to another station, or the user may able to download the videos as well as audios, as well as the end user can able to play certain games online, as well as the user may be able to watch some sort of a television, as well as able to establish some sort of a video conference with other users here. Okay. One of the interesting characteristic of this third generation system is that these portable devices are always connected. This 3G concept started in the year 1992. This ITU, that is International Telecommunication Union, issued a blueprint called Internet Mobile Communication 2000, that is IMT 2000 here. If you look at the outlines of this IMT 2000, a voice quality that is comparable to that of the existing public telephone network. With this 3G network, we people are able to achieve the data rate around 144 kbps for access in a moving vehicle, 384 kbps for access as a user walks, that is for pedestrians, and 2 Mbps of a data rate for stationary users. This 3G standard supports packet switching and circuit switching data services. Here we people are having a band of 2 gigahertz and a bandwidth of 2 megahertz here, and interface to the internet. Okay, when it comes to this 3G network, they used a very simple idea. Okay, your 2G standard simply provides the voice services. They have simply added another control plane that is called as a data plane. Okay, with this configuration, the station are able to send or able to generate a voice, able to generate data, that is they are able to use data services, as well as they are able to establish some sort of a voice communication with the other stations. The main goal of a third generation, that is a cellular telephony, is to provide a universal personal communication here. These are the radio interfaces that are adopted by the IMT 2000. Okay. We have the first two, that is a IMT DS, that is a direct sequence, as well as a IMT MC, that is a multi-carrier. These two uses the CDMA technique. The third one, that is a IMT TC, that is a time code. We people are using a combination of a CDMA and a TDMA. The next one we have a IMTSC, that is single carrier, that uses the TDMA mechanism. IMTFT, that uses a combination of a TDMA as well as the FDMA mechanism. When it comes to IMTDS, that is a direct sequence, it uses the version of a CDMA called a WCDMA, that is a wideband CDMA. Okay. It uses 5 megahertz of a bandwidth, and it is compatible with the CDMA that is used in IS 95, that is a interim standard 95 here. The second one we have a IMT-MC, that is a multi-carrier. This approach is also called as a CDMA 2000. In this particular approach, this mechanism combines bandwidth, wideband of 15 megahertz, that is that combines this wideband spectrum with a narrow band, that is a 1.25 megahertz of the CDMA of IS 95 here. It has a backward compatible with IS 95, as well as it allows the communication on a multiple of 1.25 megahertz channels up to 15 megahertz, that is nothing but a 1, 3, 6, 9, so on, that is up to 15 megahertz here. So that as we people are using the wider channel, that allows us to achieve 2 Mbps of a data rate here. When it comes to the third one, that is IMTTC, that is a time code, that we people are using the combination of a CDMA as well as a TDMA. Here we people are adding this TDMA multiplexing mechanism with this WCDMA technique or a mechanism here. The next one, that IMT-ASC, that is a single carrier that uses a time division multiple access method. The last one, that is a IMT-FT, that is a frequency time, that uses a combination of a FDMA and a TDMA mechanism. The next one we have a fourth generation. When it comes to this fourth generation cellular telephony, we can say that it is a complete evolution in the area of wireless communication. If you look at the objective of this 4G standard, it is a spectrally efficient system, high network capacity, that provides a high network capacity, the data rate of 100 Mbps for access in a moving car, and 1 Gbps for stationary users. The data rate of at least 100 Mbps between any 2 points in the world. A smooth handoff across the heterogeneous network. We people are getting a seamless connectivity and global roaming across multiple networks. A high quality of a service for the next generation multimedia support. Interoperability with the existing wireless standard. And here all IP, that is nothing but it is a completely packet switched network here. Okay, in case of a 3G standard, we people are using the combination of both, that is data as well as voice, and in this case we people are using this IP network. Okay, that is your voice as well as the data has been all that information has to pass through this IP only. This fourth generation network also provide some functionalities like multicasting, security, as well as a route optimization capabilities. When it comes to the access scheme or access method, just to improve the efficiency of a network, here we people are either it may be a efficiency or the capacity, as well as in terms of a scalability, we can say that we people are using a set of new access mechanisms or techniques. In case of a 4G standard here, here we people are using a orthogonal FDMA for a downlink purpose or a downlink channel, and an interleaved FDMA mechanism is used for a uplink channel. And even the multi-carrier code division multiple access, that is a MCCDMA, that is proposed for a IEEE 802.20 standard. When it comes to the modulation technique, we people are using the quadrature amplitude modulation, that is a 64 QAM, along with especially used for this 4G standard, that is a long-term evolution standard, we can say that. When the next one, we have a radio system. Fourth generation networks uses this SDR systems, that is a software defined radio. Okay, we can call this SDR as a piece of a software, we can say that is this particular SDR is completely implemented as a part of a software here. Okay, this SDR can change its program to shift its frequencies, so that we can mitigate these frequency interferences. When it comes to this of the 4G standard, we people are using some intelligent antennas called multiple input, multiple output, or a multi-user MIMOs. Okay, these antennas. These antennas together with some sort of a special multiplexing technique, the independent stream can be transmitted simultaneously from all the antennas here to increase the data rate into multiple folds here. Even this MIMO, that is the multiple input, multiple output antenna, allows the transmitter as well as a receiver to coordinate, so that they can move to an open frequency whenever interference occurs here. When it comes to the applications that are associated with this 4G, at the present rate, that is around 15 Mbps to 13 Mbps, we people are able to stream some sort of a high definition television, and at the rate of Mbps, that is 100 Mbps, the content of a DVD, okay, that can be downloaded within 5 minutes for offline access. And here another if you look at the this particular mechanism, that is all IP. Okay, this fourth generation is completely uses a internetwork to transmit your information in the form of packets here. Here we will try to conclude the course here, and I wish all the best for your final exams here. Thank you.